We continue our reading of Lest We Forget, a daily devotional by author George R. Knight. Today's reading, July 9. Meet Michael Belina Czechowski. Jesus said to him, "Go and proclaim the kingdom of God." Luke 9:60. Sabbatarian Adventist foreign mission happened in spite of the attitude of the Adventist. The circulation of Adventist publications offered one avenue, as immigrants sent them back home and others mailed or shipped them to friends living in other countries. As a result, Adventists in America were aware of converts in Ireland in the early 1860s. And by 1864, Africa had at least two believers in the third angel's message, and one of those would soon take the message to Australia. Whether it liked it or not, the newly organized Seventh-day Adventist Church was being faced with the challenge of worldwide mission. Not only were there converts, but the converts kept requesting missionaries to visit their lands. And as on so many other occasions, James White was at the forefront of those who envisioned a larger mission for the denomination. A month before the organization of the General Conference in May 1863, he wrote in the review that ours is a worldwide message. And a few months before that, he had pointed out the need for sending a missionary to Europe. Then in June, the review reported that the General Conference Executive Committee may send B.F. Snook, a missionary to Europe, before the close of 1863. While the organization was so short on personnel it couldn't release Snook from his current duties, it did have a minister who was more than eager to make the trip. In 1858, Michael Belina Czechowski, an ex-Roman Catholic Polish priest who had converted to Sabbatarian Adventism in America in 1857, wrote, "How I would love to visit my own native country across the big waters and tell them all about Jesus' coming and the glorious restitution and how they must keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." But Czechowski was new to the faith and perceived by some to have personality instabilities. As a result, the Seventh-day Adventist people refused to send him. In frustration, the Creative Pole requested the First-day Adventists to sponsor him. They did. But when he got to Europe, he preached the Seventh-day message. The church is full of interesting people, but God manages to use all of us in spite of our obvious lacks. Thanks be to the Father for his enabling grace. This concludes our reading today of Lest We Forget.